Coach, welcome. If you can just give us a brief summary of the match, Coach.
Good evening. Highly complicated game. Really, as I expected. We just played 1 week ago, so we know each other very well. It's like a second leg, so in both teams we approach the game in that manner. So really tactical in the beginning. I think it was a 50-50 game in terms of control. The time that we play 11 against 11, slightly better. I think our opponent a little bit more comfortable on the field than us in the beginning. We didn't start with the pace that we were looking for. But the game, at that time, I think the game was, nobody can say who is really more close to score. After the red card, obviously it's normal that little by little we are starting to control more phases of the game than the opponent, even though I think they did it well even with one player less, trying to play, not really sitting in a low block immediately, with also good opportunities in transitions and set pieces. Not clear ones, not really clear, but always giving us that feeling of threat. And I think we did a good job in terms of in our rest defense in the second half, especially in the last 30-35 minutes. And in the last stages of the game, with the 0-0, we were looking for something different up front, trying to have more runnings to the space, more running in the box, to the box, and stress a little bit more Sikakane and Hanamu, that they were doing an exceptional work, but they look slightly more tired in the end. And yeah, probably we didn't play brilliant like maybe in the last 2-3 games at that level, but even more happy today than in the previous games, for the fact that we managed to be extremely competitive today, clean sheet, always on the game, and showing that we are in a good moment in terms of concentration as well, and we were patient enough to get one result that I don't think that if I said that we deserve it, I'm lying.
We'll now take questions from the floor. Any questions for the coach?
Congratulations, Coach,
Thank you.
on the win. I look at, I think, if my memory serves me well, in terms of the goals you've scored, is it 21 goals in the last 7 matches? And also looking at your run with, I think, with 6 games to go now, getting into the second spot, how important is to carry this momentum and mind what you can control, because you really need the second spot.
Oh, we really need to win games week in, week out. We really need to do it in the way we want to do it, playing the football that we want to play, and everything else is a consequence. We don't play for the results. The result is a consequence of doing the things better than the opponent in our way, and recently we managed to do it in most of the minutes of the games, in most of the phases of the game, and that's why we are getting results. Everybody wants to play for results. Everybody wants to get results. Everybody needs good results. So we want to do it in a way. Right now we are close to the team that we want to be in the next months, in the future, in the next season, but still there's a big room for improvement. we take game after game, one by one. Now we need to, tomorrow we have training, we have to recovery, then rest, and then we have Royal AM. And just 3 days later we have to travel to Cape Town, and then we have a semi-final, and there's no time to feel, you know, so great right now, because of the football is the next game. You know it better than me. And the next game is Royal AM. We will celebrate today, is likely, we are happy, and just from tomorrow thinking again in our next competitor to prepare ourselves as good as possible, and that's all.
Thanks to you. Coach, I know you don't like individualizing players and all, but every coach in the world is crying of strikers, and they're not getting really good lethal strikers. And so Mabasa has been scoring in each and every game where he's played lately. Just coach, your reflection, honestly, reflection on your views on this striker. I know he's got good players around him. Just on him, he's been lethal. Just your views on him.
I think I did answer this question many times already. It's one more piece in our structure, an important one right now. I'm happy when the players, and especially the forwards, are delivering goals, but especially getting the responsibility in the last meters. Constantly is offering us other options and possibilities for the players that are playing around, for our number 10s. Midfielders, players out, it's helping us to be aggressive in our pressing. He's the first defender of the team when we don't have the ball, so it's contributing in the role that we assigned to the number 9 position, and so far is doing well. But it's also doing well because the ones who are behind, the ones who are not playing recently, they are training very well. They are putting pressure. They want to be there as well, and they are working for it. So in the end, only one can go to the field, but this is a team. Everybody is working to make it possible, and the ones who are going to the field, they have all of our support, and he's not an exception.
Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
I think it's 4 or 5 league games left, potentially 2 cup games.
6.
With the 2 cup games in the semi-final. Do you see some of your players maybe working a lot harder in training, because some players' contracts might be expiring in the next few weeks, playing for their futures? Do you see a higher level of competitiveness in these last few weeks?
Well, I don't know how big the role of that issue that you mentioned is playing right now in the end of the season, not only in Orlando Pirates. I guess it's something general in every other team, and it's normal. We go into the last stages of the season, to the last weeks. The fact that almost everybody is playing for important objectives, I think, or as a coach, I want to think that is what is, rising is the word, the level of each and every individual. And it's normal as a professional football players that they are also keeping one eye in their futures and trying to deliver what they supposed to be delivering in their clubs, and in our case is not an exception, and everything in the end as a pack is going to contribute to get our objectives in the end of the season as a team. Them as an individuals, we understand everybody's also thinking in their own futures and careers, and that's, if it's like that, is also good. Is an extra for the team.
We'll take the final 2 questions.
Well done on the result, Coach.
Thank you.
I saw your fans were quite ecstatic of the support that these fans have been giving you through the years, and now that there's understanding between you and them. How far does it go? And technically on the match itself, coach, I've seen that a player that gets a yellow card, you're quick to substitute him. Is it something that you work on, seeing that others, your key players like your team, I forgot the others that got yellow cards that will keep them out of the next game? How do you juggle that? Just give us your thought on that.
No, about the fans, today was really nice, to be honest. The atmosphere in Orlando was really good from the beginning, I think. And hopefully for the next game we have to open the second ring as well. So we can, finish the season here with the sold out Orlando Stadium as well. It's really helpful in tough games like today especially. And the sub today with Mahaula, for example, he got a yellow. And it's not only because of the yellow, it's about the role of the players, the responsibility that they have. For example, Tito got a yellow also, and we didn't sub him. But depending on the role, sometimes we want to play safe because we know about the difficulties, obviously, to find ourselves with one man down early in the game. So having the names we have on the bench is not an issue. It's not that the level of the team is going to drop if we are forced to do a sub because of a yellow card. Maybe if I have a different bench or if I'm coaching with a different squad, I have to think twice. But in this case, I'd rather to be safe than sorry, let's say, because we don't want to find ourselves in that scenario. And that's all. What else? Did you ask me something else?
It was more about the same thing, coach. That are you looking into the next game, looking at the players that you'll be missing going forward?
No. Again, 38 players in the squad. 80% available to play in a good momentum. So if we get a yellow, we get a yellow. If it's the fourth one, it's the fourth one. We go to the next. We have many players ready to go, and everybody is going to be needed in the last part of the season.
Another question? Covered. You take us, once, twice, gone. That not to the conference. Thank you very much.